Hello, 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 hello. Can you guys hear me? I think you guys can hear me. Um, mm. Hi, welcome back to another. Oh, girl, stop, please, please. I have to turn my phone off. Welcome back to another episode of Minutes with Majesty, and I am Majesty. Um, Sorry, I'm recording this episode really late. It's really hard to keep track of the weeks. They've been going by really fast, but last night I had a lot going on. I literally went to 2 basketball games and then I went to a rave, but the rave got shut down, so I didn't really make it to the rave. And then I went to a party that wasn't really a party, and it was just really disgusting and yuck and boring. And then I went out to eat, so I just didn't have enough time to do this because I just didn't. But I have enough time today. And this episode is going to be really short because the question is kind of silly. So I guess to lengthen it, maybe I'll just start by recapping my week for you guys. I don't know if you guys find that interesting or boring, but I got a job, woohoo, and I start next week. And yeah, that's really it, to be honest. Like, nothing else has really been the highlight of my week. So yeah. Ooh, sorry, these are all banging and hanging. Okay, so the question wasn't really a question, it was just a statement. The topic they wanted me to do was Sigma Daddy Alpha. I don't understand why, but okay. I do have a couple definitions for you guys if I could freaking find them. Okay, I don't have Sigma, but I do have Alpha and Beta. Okay, so for alpha males, it says alpha males are often seen as confident, assertive leaders who are comfortable taking charge in social situations. They tend to be physically strong, emotionally resilient, and highly competitive. In contrast, beta males are often seen as more introspective and sensitive with greater focus on building strong relationships and emotional connections. And then I can go ahead and look up Sigma for you guys. Sorry. I hope you guys are doing really good. All three of you that listen. One of them is probably my mom, which I don't mind. Okay, Urban Dictionary. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I don't like using Urban Dictionary because some of these definitions be crazy, but this one doesn't seem that bad. Okay. Sigma male is a more internally focused sibling to the alpha male. While the alpha male quantifies himself on this high position in the social hierarchy, a sigma male prefers to forego the social hierarchy and need for external validation altogether and pursue internal strength instead. Essentially a loner or a stray man, although sigma males have a close circle of friends and loved ones whom they share a deep connection. The sigma male is not socially inept, but simply socially disinterested. He prefers solitary activities where he doesn't have to play social politics and can simply focus on himself. The Sigma male accepts that he does not need power over others as the alpha male desires, but rather needs only power to control himself and preserve his own autonomy from others. Sigma males are often pragmatic, but may be seen by others as aloof, paranoid, secretive, or selfish. Whoa. The introverted alpha male is basically what it says, sorry, that was disgusting. Another definition on Urban Dictionary for alpha male says, an insecure little bitch with a small dick that thinks he has the right to women and physically harming people. They justify their actions by saying, I'm an alpha male. Okay. The term alpha male can be defined as in both a classical and modern sense. The classical definition derives from the animal kingdom and represents a physical form of dominance over other males. The alpha male lion, for example, claims sexual rights to all females, fights off other male lions to enforce it, eats first after every hunt, and dominates a vast territory of land for hunting rights. In a modern sense, younger males, teens, early 20s, will subscribe to the classical form. Like a lion, they will often be the strongest, most intimidating, hit on all of the women beta males want. Okay, sorry, that punctuation was horrible. Are usually the first to have new sexual experiences and often dominate a set of territory in their quote-unquote hunt for new women, such as local nightclub scenes. That's nasty. That's why I don't go to clubs. Other alpha males, however, will evolve the classical traits of strength, intimidation, and dominance beyond the physical by gaining power over men through their very means of living and professional reputation. A powerful business executive, for example, will hire, promote, demote, and fire others according to how well they serve his own interests. Rock stars, famous actors, and other individuals of power hold very similar capabilities over others in their respective positions. Younger alpha males who cannot mature in the modern form will usually cling to the classic form of alpha maleness for as long as possible. Now let's see what Urban Dictionary has to say about beta males. Beta male. Okay, let's see if there's a funny one, but I'm gonna try to find a long one. A beta male is a man who is typically small in stature and simps all of his cash away to try and get pussy. Whoa. Sometimes they even go as far as selling personal belongings to please a girl. They deal with problems passive-aggressively, and at first sign of danger, they prefer to run instead of fight. Some beta males try to talk themselves up to their friends to mask their insecurity because they know they're a beta male. Oh, God. These are just horrible. Someone who is unable to assert dominance and is generally pathetic and not attractive. A beta male is a man who lacks masculine energy and adopts feminine characteristics, often faces problems or confrontations passive-aggressively. A beta male is often taken advantage of due to his nice guy persona. A beta male wrote that. Oh, gosh. Okay. Let me see. There's a really nice one that I just saw, but let me see if there's a longer, more not precise, but like defined one. And see, okay, this one is like what's kind of like confusing to me about the whole alpha beta male structure or whatever, because it says a beta male is a place among the male social structure, the structure being alpha, beta, delta, gamma, and omega. So why don't they... That's literally second. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe because I'm not competitive, I don't really see how that's bad. Like, yeah, you're not first, but at least you're not fucking, like, fourth. There's, like, 5 of those fucking things. Okay, anyway, I'll just read this one. This is the longest one they have. Sorry, I thought they would have more for beta male, but I guess they don't. Most of them are just like short and rude. Um, in the animal kingdom, the alpha male is the dominant member of the community. He's like a cartoon caveman, commanding deference. The betas are wingmen, collaborative and conciliatory. In human terms, betas make the best mates. They do more in the house and probably in the bedroom because they know how to hasten the greater good. The beta has a poetry in him, a touch of youthful idealism. He's sure of who he is and not constantly trying to prove his value in materialistic terms. Alpha, your expensive car doesn't make you interesting. The beta can earn a lot of money or a little, but the money's not the thing. He profits because he works well with others. There's something rebellious about the beta male. He challenges the social order rather than succumbing to it. The beta male doesn't buy into the basis stereotypes about male behavior, and that's hugely sexy. Okay, so we kind of got some definitions going here. Sorry, those took a lot of time. We're just gonna take a moment of silence, I guess, for the beta males because I get so much hate. Okay, that was enough. I personally, I don't, if I had to choose, I just don't believe in this system. I'm not gonna lie, so I can't really say like if I had to choose. But if I did have to choose, I'd probably go with beta or sigma, just because I feel like sigma, like the definition of it was basically like a loner, and I like men who look like they've never felt the touch of a woman. So, yeah, like if you're just so quiet and just shy and you're just eek and you laugh at all of my jokes and you're like, oh my gosh, you're so outgoing. I want to be just like you. Like you don't have to be just like me because you can be inside me. Yeah. Oh, that's a joke, by the way. YouTube, please don't take this down. I was kidding. And if I had to describe myself, I remember when I was like dating this guy a long time ago, he was talking about like alpha and beta or whatever. And he was talking about like I think his like sister's boyfriend or something. He was saying like he was a beta male or whatever. And I was like, okay, so what do you think you are? And he was like, oh, I think I'm an alpha male. Like, first of all, he wasn't. Like, he literally lived with his mom and he was 26. And I was like, oh, okay, so like, what would you consider me? Like, would I be a beta then? And he was like, no, like, you'd be alpha. And I was like, what? I don't think, like, I feel like they don't really think about the whole logic behind the thing, because I feel like two alpha like people in one like relationship or household would like just combust. Like I feel like it wouldn't work. I'm not saying that there has to be a dominant and a submissive, because that's basically what alpha and beta is in my opinion. Like dom submissive, and then sigma is kind of like in the middle. Like you can't tell. I don't know. Maybe I didn't read the definitions right, but I just feel like as an alpha male, like if you claim to be this alpha male thing, like I feel like you would get extremely intimidated by a woman that you would claim to be as an alpha woman. Like that's why I just don't believe in the system. It's just a bunch of bullshit and it doesn't make any fucking sense. But if I did, I feel like I would say that I'm beta. Like there's no shame in it. There's no harm. I feel like the only reason why people would try to like claim me as alpha is because I'm very outgoing, but I'm also not like very competitive, and I don't like being rude, so I don't think I would want to be alpha whether I was a man or a woman. So yeah, I don't really understand this system, and I know it was just like a little joke, like, oh my gosh, yes, Sigma Daddy Alpha, oh, my Discord kitten, Wolf Daddy is so displeased. But I feel like realistically people need to stop believing in this little system, because for one, it's not true, and for two, this is how you end up lonely with no friends if you think like this, and for three, it's just a bunch of, in my opinion, like mumbo jumbo words to just say whether or not you're competitive or you're motivated or not. Like you can be very motivated. That was stupid. You can be very motivated about, say, like finding a wife or finding a partner with the same goals as you, but that doesn't make you like alpha. Like, that doesn't really, I don't know. I feel like you can just say like, I know exactly what I want. Like, I think it's just you're just having standards. Like, you have standards for yourself. And they say like, oh, like beta males like simp all their money away, but isn't that technically what alpha males do too? Like, they don't simp it all, not simp, I hate that word too, but it's not like they don't give it all away, but you're basically spending all of this money to be impressive. And it's like, for what? Sorry, I'm sending a text. Oh gosh, I wish I could multitask like how I used to. I just can't. But it's like they spend all of this money or they brag about how much money they have, but how is that any different than what a beta male does or what they think a beta male does? Because they say they simp all their money away. And it's like, first of all, you don't even know whether or not the beta male does or doesn't have a lot of money, but both of you guys are using money as a means to impress someone, whether you're trying to impress yourself or your family or a potential partner. You're using your money to impress someone, or you're using your money to gain the affinity of someone. Whether or not you're trying to gain the affinity from yourself, you want to love yourself more, so you're spending more money on yourself. Like, you're treating yourself, you're gifting yourself. Or your parents never believed in you and they talked down to you, so you tell them like, this is how much money I'm making, here you go, I bought you this, I bought you that, or whatever. Or if you're just doing it really nicely, like, hey, like, I just wanted to show my appreciation, thank you for being good parents or good family members to me, like, here's this money, here's that money. But it's like no different, in my opinion. I feel like the scale is ridiculous, and a lot of the men who follow the scale don't really think about what they're saying and think about what they're talking about, because when you really sit down and think about it, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it literally doesn't make sense. It's a very useless scale, and it's a very useless social structure, because just because someone doesn't want to get up in front of a group of women and ask them like an extremely heinous and weird question, that doesn't make them a beta male. That just makes them a good person. And not even a good person, because they could, to be honest, they could be a terrible person. They just don't want to ask that question. That means they just don't want to ask that question, or they don't want to embarrass themselves. Like, I find that men who generally identify themselves as alpha men tend to be extremely embarrassing. Like, they don't really think about how cringe the things that they do are. And a lot of women who believe in this scale as well and follow this scale, I think you women need to stand up. And I don't mean the women who like believe they're in the social structure, because y'all need to stand up too, but in a different way. Like, I mean the women that are like, oh yes, an alpha male, oh my gosh, and he's not an alpha male. Like, he literally borrowed money from his mom and he just talked to you like you're garbage. Maybe we need to reevaluate our life choices, babes. Maybe we need to get it together. Maybe we need to look around and think about what the fuck we're doing. That was disgusting. I'm sorry. And the same goes for women who believe they're in that social structure. Like, you'll be friends with someone, but you're not secretly jealous of them. Like, you're secretly hating on them because they're maybe less fortunate than you, or you don't think they have as good of a job as you, or like, say, a lot of these people who consider themselves to be like higher in that social structure financially, I won't even just explain, like, say emotionally, financially, like, most of the time you took a job just for money, but you're miserable and you have no passion. So then when you see someone who's passionate about their job and they're still able to survive off of what they're making, like, they're still able to have a good time and pay their bills, like have their bills paid and then go out the same night, or have their bills paid and go on vacation the next week, but they actually love their job, you start to get internally angry with them and you start berating them. But it's really because you're jealous, because you don't have that experience, because you hate what you do, because you chose to do what you do to be seen as someone who's higher up in the structure. But now it's getting to a point where that whole system is getting just a little bit outdated, and there are some people who still follow it and stuff, but for the most part it's getting really outdated, and people are starting to realize that, yes, the economy is horrible. The economy is probably always going to be horrible. So why not do what I want to do for a living and have fun instead of taking a horrible job that pays me like a ridiculous amount of money? Like, people are starting to have more fun. And I think that's something that a lot of people who want to be higher up in the social structure need to realize, is that once you try to put yourself on this pedestal and you follow this structure, you're probably never going to have fun ever again. Like, genuine, like actual genuine, heartfelt, pure joy, like you're never going to feel that again. Which is why I don't follow the scale, because not only is it a bunch of bullshit, I'm not going to make myself miserable at the expense of hoping that other people will like me just because of whatever, because that's what you're doing. Like, that's literally what social structure is. Like, you want to be on top and you hope that people like you, but most of the time they don't really like you. They either think you're so embarrassing that they try to spare your feelings, or they're scared of you because you're so violent and disgusting and angry all the time, because you're so fucking miserable from following this scale, that they don't want anything to do with you. And they just pretend they do. Or they just are around you because they know you have a lot of money and they know you're willing to shell it out, but you'll make fun of a beta male for shelling their money out, or a beta person in general for shelling their money out. But what are you doing? Exactly. And someone's probably going to get a hold of this, like maybe like 5 years from now, and put really disgusting comments under it. But that's how I know I'm telling the truth. Like, yeah. I feel like if you follow the scale, maybe you need to reevaluate your life and evaluate the things that you want to do and evaluate how you want to be seen socially and in society. And if you genuinely believe that this is a real thing and you think that it's an extremely true scale and extremely true social structure, then you know what? By all means, have at it, have fun, keep doing it. But if you realize, like, this is not for real, like, I'm just following this because someone else told me about it, and this hasn't really done anything for me, and this and this, like, maybe you need to put that time and effort that you're spending into trying to be someone higher up on this scale into actually figuring out your life. Maybe you need to figure out getting a job, a hobby. Because if your hobbies include berating women or berating men or berating people, berating anyone of any gender, if it just consists of you being a disgusting person, that's not a hobby. That's a personality trait at that point. And you know what? Personality traits can be readjusted and revised. So you might want to get on that before you turn 50, and then before you turn 60 and 70, and the dementia starts hitting you and you forget how to be a good person. Sorry to the people who have dementia. I know that's not how it works, but yeah. I know it was supposed to be like a jokey joke topic, so I guess I'll just make it a little lighthearted towards the end. I feel like alpha males are so silly. Like, you guys are just so funny, and I think that it's really cringy, but also in a way it's really cute how hard that you try, and it just makes me laugh and smile, because realistically, deep down underneath all of that, like, you know, you just want to be cuddled. Like, you literally just want to be held and kissed and just like, you just want someone to take care of you, and not take care of you like, oh my gosh, like, I just need a housemaid, a house slave. Like, you want someone to take care of you, like, lay you down and feed you chicken soup that your mom used to make, and just kiss them in the mouth. Like, you know that all you want is love. And I find that really, really cute and funny and stupid. Like, maybe you should just act like a good person and you'll get that. Sigma and beta people, I think that you guys are super sweet. Keep doing what you're doing. Like, literally slay. Like, you guys are slaying. Stop following the scale and go out and get some bitches. Yeah. If you guys are reading this, I would love it if you, not reading, listening to this, I would love it if you would put a silly comment in the comments saying what kind of person you are in the social structure between alpha and omega, and like maybe look up the definitions of all of those and tell me why you think you're that. I think it would be really funny to just see what everyone comments, even if you comment a joke or you comment something real. Like, literally look up the definitions to all of those social structures and tell me which one you think you are, because it would just make my day a lot if you guys did that. Okay. Um, Now that I ended the silly question on a silly note, I guess it's time to call it a wrap. We're at 25 minutes. I did not think it was gonna take this long. Actually, I thought it was just gonna be like a quick little 15-minute episode. I will say that I have about, let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more episodes until I will start bringing on guests. If you guys want, I'm gonna try to see how I can make one of those like little poll, not a poll thing, but like it's a thing on a YouTube page where people can suggest things, and you guys can put suggestions on there, as well as if you would want guests to talk about it or not. I will say that most of the guests are people just like me. They're Black or LGBTQ plus, and we are all college students. So if you're wanting a guest of a different description to talk about a different topic, it would really help if you guys would put that in there, so that way I can satisfy you guys' needs as well as get someone as a guest to be more on theme for the topic. Because if you guys want someone to talk about, like, let's say the effects of being a theater major, like, I'll have to go find a theater major because I'm not a theater major or something like that, or like, the life of being an administrative assistant. Like, that might sound really boring, but that sounds really interesting to me. But like, I will find an administrative assistant because I'm not an administrative assistant, you know? So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'll talk to you guys later next week. I'm going to edit this. And yeah, see you later, Pooksters. Mwah.